buddy?
No, we didn't need to take it there. Oh, dear.
Checking out my sprunger, huh?
My notes actually say the sprungers are gross.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
like goiters. They look like
yeah.
goiters.
I guess we kind of skipped over the time travel thing.
We haven't
We're
gotten
not
there
there
yet. I
yet.
don't
The
think.
Niblonians.
You're
jumping ahead.
you're way ahead.
They find
here.
the
Nibbler hasn't even talked yet.
binary code on
Yes, on
Fry's ass.
Yeah.
He's got a stool type of P negative, which he's aware of and affirms.
Yeah, because they find when they're. They,
I think
they
every
bust
business
through.
should collect skin, blood, and poo samples.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they break through the wall
Your
into the
business
professor's safe.
kind of does
That's
already.
true. That's true.
I mean,
Pretty
you
sure
just
mine
throw it
does,
out.
too.
Combination hair, blood, and stool samples.
Oh
Oh, they're creepy
Sexy.
breathing.
yeah. Or as we call it around here, Saturday morning.
With the cartoons.
just you never gotta clear everything out after Friday night.
What did they say? Philip J. Fry, feces type P or something.
P
like that?
negative.
Yeah.
stool type.
Stool type.
His social security number didn't have enough digits in it.
Yeah, they can't give out a real social security number.
Well, I mean, they could have made one up. It could have been like 5.
In all likelihood, no, yeah, if it's 555.
555. Yeah,
Is-
I don't know.
So when they read the binary code off of Fry's ass, and this is revealed now that it's the universal time code, does it beam up to the God cloud that Bender was in before?
Yeah, that was
And
the
that's-
cloud from Godfellas.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
the
that's
God
what generates
galaxy.
the time sphere that comes back.
Just
Yeah,
out
I
of
think- I
him,
think-
yeah.
Yeah, that God universe is kind of just a physical, like, oh, here's the universe, here's time, here's whatever.
I
You
think
know,
it's like
just
spilling water on a gremlin. It just pops out.
Yeah.
Ooh, the little blistery gremlin things always made me.
Yeah, I felt so bad for Gizmo in that movie,
Yeah,
especially at that moment.
He was very clearly in pain.
Yeah, he's like screaming.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
God, that movie's so good.
It's been a long time since I've seen it. Were
watched
they
it, like-
doing a gritty reboot lately, or have they
They're
left
talking
that
about a
on?
third one. The guy who played the kid keeps talking about a third one, but
Billy,
he has no
what's his
power over.
face?
Yeah, he has no.
They're
fucking
gonna
power.
do it. They're gonna do everything.
I'm cool with a third Gremlins if Joe Dante comes back.
They're gonna do it. I'm okay with it if it's good, but like
If Joe Dante does it,
it goes too far.
And the
sometimes.
smart alien,
Yeah,
or the
of course.
smart gremlin.
Are
in
you
this- from the
okay with the
second one.
Cobra Kai
yeah.
reboot of
when
the
they just go
Karate
full
Kid?
Smurfs.
That actually looks pretty sick.
Does it?
I think.
I can't bring myself to watch the trailers.
For what?
The Cobra Kai show.
Mm.
Is it a show?
They're doing a show.
You know, I've never seen Karate Kid, so.
Are you serious?
I know.
That's surprising.
I feel like you're trolling us. How
no,
can
it's,
that be?
It's been on. It's one of those things. Just never been on my. Well, it's
It's
been on
like-
my list, but it's never.
Well, I know how we fix that. Michelle had never had a McDonald's hamburger either. And then
If
we
you start with
talked
the
about it
remake
until
with
she made herself
Jaden
sick.
Smith,
It was disgusting.
It only goes up.
I did see parts of that because I was working at the movie theater at the time.
If it makes you feel better, I also have not seen Karate Kid.
Well, are you
Do
comparing?
ever?
Are you
No.
comparing the Karate Kid to a McDonald's hamburger? Because it's a very low bar.
I know they just.
No,
I had never had a McDonald's hamburger, and then they
No, I remember
berated me until I ate one, and it was gross.
It's
I'm
Because it's
just like I
comparing it
thought.
to-
It's like 80% soy. It's gross.
Because you walked into a McDonald's and picked up someone's
it-
leftover hamburger.
No, I went through the drive-through. I got chicken nuggets as a backup, which was a great call. There was
Yeah.
raw fucking onions on it. Who eats a raw onion?
I
Like
just
cook
ate-
that
I
shit.
Just,
I like
I just
raw
ate raw
onions.
onions
Yeah.
on my tacos.
There was
Stick
it was
onions.
too much. Like I understand a little bit of raw onion, but this was like a half a fucking.
Yeah, that's why
onion
you
on
always
this
get no
goddamn
onions.
burger.
I don't trust.
and then
fast
they
food
just give you a
veggies.
little bit
Rank.
of onions when you
It was
say no onions.
rank.
No, I wasn't comparing it to a McDonald's hamburger. It's just more a universal, like pop cultural phenomenon that by the. I mean, you're.
It was past my prime though. Like I was born in '89. The third Karate Kid came out when like '87,
I don't know.
and then the last Karate Kid came out in like '99.
I'm older than you.
Or the next Karate Kid.
I mean, either way, it's one of those things where surely it would have been on TV or on
I
some.
mean, I've
you
seen
know,
bits
like
and pieces. I've
yeah.
seen the sweep of legs.
And then there was
stuff,
Karate
but-
Kid after next.
Well, the one with what's her name? Wait. Oh, Friday after next. The Christmas one, right? I'm like moderately drunk, but I'm like, it's gonna be a weird.
We all
night.
just kind of like side-eyed each other until George got the joke.
National Lampoon's Van Wilder's Karate Kid.
The Rise of Taj.
You got fired on your day on. You got fired on your day off.
I know what you did last karate practice.
Who does Brandy die in a sunbathing thing in that one too?
Wait, which Brandy? My wife or the singer?
I don't think I've met your wife. So
Well, she's
the
not
singer.
dead, so I mean, not yet.
Find out.
Yeah, I haven't been upstairs in a little bit, so it could be a
Does she have a
shockingly
sun tanning thing
distressing-
in her room?
No,
do you guys do at
No,
night?
she combusts in the sun. So that probably not. This is driving me nuts. My notes keep scrolling way back to the top. I think I'm shaking the iPad too much.
At what point does Nibbler goes, "Oh no, you don't," and then he just walks into the time portal? There's like one of the times when Bender goes into the time sphere.
Which one?
I don't
Bender's the first
remember which one. Yeah, is it?
Bender's the only one who goes in for most of it, and then Fry does it when he's
Fry
running
does
away
a
from the.
bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're standing there in the Planet Express. Was that, what do you call that? Like the dock or whatever, and they say, like, you read it out, and Bender goes, "Who the hell is he?" And Scruffy, it's Scruffy. And he's a Scruffy janitor. Like, why did Scruffy have to reintroduce himself? Did they think that
'Cause he
people were gonna
always-
forget who Scruffy was?
They always forget who
yeah,
he is.
and
He
he-
always introduces himself.
And he always forgets who he is, or I mean, who they
Everybody
are.
else
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
The running joke for the entire series is that no one knows who he is,
But, I don't know.
except for sometimes
I
when
don't
he's
that's
at,
his
like,
catchphrase.
when he's at Fry's
Who are
funeral.
you, Scruffy?
Yeah.
All right, stand back, you wing wangs.
I guess.
Why haven't they ever done a Scruffy origin story?
I don't know.
Because I feel like it's just he applied. Like, I think that's
just
really
showed
it.
up.
He just started working there.
He
one
might have
day.
just been there in the building.
Yeah.
Like,
he just came with the building.
Yeah,
They turning the lights on. Who are you, Scruffy? Janitor. Okay.
that works. So I guess this is the part we're moving into episode 2, part 2 of this. The deal with this time sphere, why it's so dangerous, is it's paradox correcting. So like that's the part that seems, when they've dealt with time stuff in the past, like with the chronotons and stuff, like shit gets fucked up when you start.
Yeah, they did deal
tinkering
with
it.
paradoxes. But they only did one time travel one, right?
There were a couple.
Well, there's the one where.
Well, they went back to
forward.
Roswell. Remember?
Yeah, there's the one
you would
where.
think I would remember a thing like that.
Yeah.
Also, shut up.
Who are you?
Yeah, so Nibbler explains to them that even one use of the time code could tear the universe asunder.
So we'll only
and
use it
they
four or six
use
times
it anyway. And Nibbler says that the universe is doomed. And then I hit the mic.
max. And then Zoidberg
And,
says there was one,
yeah.
but now there's 2.
Doomed.
Well, like, I'm trying to think if there was any other time travel ones though, because they all travel forward.
There's the Roswell one, and then
That's the only
there's
one where they go
time
back.
keeps on slipping.
So far.
And then Fry asks
there
him
There's
to pull
another
his
one.
pants.
There's the
So
one
they
in
go
like
back in
season
time?
8 or 9, isn't
But there's
Yeah.
one they go
Yeah,
forward.
that's
Right.
but that's well they go back in time in the it's when they drink the liquid from the jars, the head jars. And they
Oh,
go,
they also go back in time in that one. Yeah.
yeah. And
remember that one.
Farnsworth's relative distant relative during the American Revolution
Yeah.
because they fuck up the timeline in that too.
Oh, I kind of vaguely remember that one.
It's a really dumb episode.
There's a lot of really dumb episodes ahead.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad I'm committed to
Not the
this.
first bunch aren't.
Yeah, the first like 2 seasons of Comedy Central one are pretty solid.
But this is where the Sprunger goes back to meet itself and gets. I mean, they just straight up start fucking.
It's real.
I mean,
sexy.
our place.
Yeah, and then but the professor being like, "This isn't merely revolting; it's impossible to boot." Like he won't give up that it's like the paradoxical nature of this. Like he can't figure it out, which seems weird.
Blech.
Someone get a mop.
Also, do you just think of a time and then
just
you
read-
jump into the time sphere?
That's kind of what I assume. It's never
Yeah.
explained.
Yeah.
It's not, like I kind of treat it like Doctor Who logic, where it's just
Mhm.
like it is what it is. Like
it
you just
takes
gotta
you
go
where
with it.
you want to go.
Yeah,
like,
it just
and
does.
That's just
what,
gonna
yeah,
do.
like I did write in my notes. He fucks himself. Like, when- to be fair, I was full of Olive Garden and beer, so while I was watching
that
this,
can't be.
that was a real good night.
who's fucking who, George?
It was a good night. That's
Sounds
all
like
that
you did it
matters.
to yourself too. The thing where they're like it's a one-way time code. That's the part that again it's like it only goes back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bender has to wait. So it's almost like the same thing that happened with the Roswell episode because they left him there and then made him sit for 3,000
Yeah, because he's a robot and he
Just so
can.
they already established it. So
Oh, I guess that's the big reveal.
Same
at
thing with the
end.
Simpsons Futurama crossover.
I don't.
that doesn't count ever
I
in
know.
anything. It's awful.
Non-canonical.
It's canonically terrible.
It's okay. Well,
I'm very mad at that episode. Especially that part where they run by Panucci's Pizza in fucking Springfield. I'm like, what? This
Wait,
makes
what?
zero sense.
Oh.
Have you not seen it?
No.
It's really bad.
Well, it doesn't surprise me.
They're just like, hey, remember this part of this show?
You know what?
That's what Bender was doing when he was waiting, like, for.
to
Just
get
making
back
a
to the
terrible
future.
episode of The Simpsons.
Well, he says it in here. We'll get there.
Oh, do they say that?
Well, he says, I'm a robot. I'll just wait for the future to come back around. And Bender's just in the Simpsons basement. That's where he ends up. That's
Oh,
what he's
right.
doing.
I do remember.
That's
Okay,
yeah. That's
right.
that's
Yeah.
what like prompted the crossover.
I found Barbados Slim's self-wiggling pecs to be
Erotic.
hypnotic. Like I almost
They do that by themselves.
live-action Futurama movie. I want
get me
Terry
started on these
Crews,
hunks.
Terry Crews to be Barbados Slim.
Can we
but
just have Terry Crews play all of them?
that would be fantastic.
Like,
but
like a clumps scenario?
but I feel like Terry Crews might be too burly to be Barbados Slim. Because he's broad, where Barbados Slim is tall and,
Yeah, he's got
and
the-
slim.
Get the physique of a runner.
I don't know. I think Terry Crews is pretty limber though.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah.
Both, like, he can play action, cool guy, and he's funny.
Mhm.
He's hilarious. He's just
And he's the least funny part of the Expendables, which is weird.
I haven't watched that.
2 and 3 are really good.
I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
great in that.
Yes.
He was
I
great
also
on
think-
Everybody Loves Chris.
Everybody loves Chris. Yeah.
You need
Yeah,
for
he's great
Barbados
at it.
Slim. You need someone like tall and thin, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Sweet.
What?
That's yeah.
He wasn't, like, you mean like Airplane Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Or, like,
Just saying someone like him,
He's
long
saying
and thin.
I can't imagine, like, modern
Endomorphically.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem's too light skinned for Barbados.
Would it be? All right, I'm trying to.
Is it racist if you blackface?
Yeah,
a
I was
black
just-
person
that's where I
to
was
make
going.
him
So thanks for
darker?
taking the bullet.
It's called
Devon?
blacker face. And yes, it is racist.
I wasn't gonna skate around that because I was curious.
Actually,
Yeah.
no. It's light skinned black people are the black people of black people. So if you go in light face, then it's bad.
Wait a second. This is
How do you go light face if you're black?
You just, get a
Powder.
nice,
yeah,
nice
Dave
powder.
Chappelle did it on his show.
That's true. That's true. He did.
Maybe a cream.
I was gonna say, like, just cover yourself with flour.
I mean, Eddie Murphy did it
On a
way
scale
back.
of 1 to Soul Man, how racist is it?
2 soul mans.
This is about 8.9 Jolsons.
That's off the charts. It's like
The Doom Meter.
yeah. I
Do a little soft shoe.
So they bring. There's another hedonism bot.
I love hedonism. Bob.
Yeah, he's been showing up more and more. He's just like
Great character.
I think I identify with him the most, which is probably not a good thing, but
what does he say about? He's like, I shan't touch them until Jambi locks the ether and the absinthe away. What is he hiding from himself?
Oh, Jambi.
the doomsday devices.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He buys the doomsday
Because
except
it's
for the
Spiro
Doomosphere.
boom.
Yeah. Oh my, because he's known unconventional love as well. I think that's hedonism bot's whole thing.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, he's really good.
I did write a lot of notes about John Lovitz, and now I'm very I'm very upset.
Thank you.
Make
So-
him cop. No, it's not him. I don't know.
Bender goes back and steals the Nobel Peace Prize for sorting out the East Coast and West Coast rappers feud in Sweden,
There's only $1 million.
which was I think that's the prize is always like that. I think
Even
isn't it?
300 years in the future.
Yeah, I think they'd hold it steady. But MC Svensson was the one it was being awarded to, and Bender just swipes it. But then I didn't realize, like, what year was that where then they show, Fry's in the cryo chamber and Bender goes flying by and everything's getting leveled out behind it.
It was 2308 is what year it was.
They were in the Sweetledome, by the way.
Which, logically, it doesn't make any sense why that city was destroyed in Sweden and then Fry's there.
No, it wasn't.
Bender to
They were
New York.
chasing him in New York, and that's how original New York was.
It's just he starts in Sweden. But yeah,
It's
cute little. It's a cute little callback. I like it.
Not
I
so
love all
neutral
those.
now, are you?
This whole thing like does a lot of fan service.
They shove
Yeah.
everything into this
but
movie.
it kind of works.
It
for
works
me.
really well.
If
in
you'd
this.
been
In this
waiting
one.
for years
Yeah,
for more
like,
Futurama, you'd
pretty
be
much-
like, yes.
Even the Seymour stuff, which I
My
don't like.
shiny metal
I'm pretty
ass,
on the
yes.
record about not liking that episode.
Which
Yeah.
one?
And the Seymour stuff. The Seymour stuff.
Oh, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it works in this for me for the most part. I have some gripes of like he makes such a big deal out of it in Jurassic Park, and then you're just like, I'm just gonna let him sit outside still.
He doesn't seem to be all that like you.
He doesn't give a
figured-
shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the other
why
fan
would
service stuff
Seymour
works.
recognize Lars as Fry?
But he's Fry for
Yeah.
90% of it.
Yeah,
So
and Seymour does not seem to give a fuck.
Yeah,
It's like,
nor does
oh,
Fry.
Yeah. It's like whatever. I don't know. All of that kind of bummed me out.
Maybe at that point he was already like desensitized. Like this guy doesn't like me, but I'm gonna sit here anyway.
Maybe
Seymour
As-
wouldn't
as
do that.
Lars?
Fry.
either.
No, but as Lars, Seymour gets blown up by the time he
Oh
becomes
right.
Lars.
Okay, but so he's still coming and going as Fry.
Yeah,
for
Fry,
years.
Fry literally pets him on the head while walking into the
Right.
into his
Mhm.
house
and
one
he's
day.
not even bothered by it. He's like, okay, whatever.
Neither of them give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, and they make a whole fucking episode. He cries, and then everyone in the Futurama fandom thinks it's a good episode, even though it's not. And like, it's a bad episode.
I'd like to have
It's
a
not
Wolfman
bad.
torso.
Luck of the Friars
Yeah.
does the exact same thing, but better.
I mean, or really any of the groovy gooey bodies, I'd be happy with.
Yeah, yeah.
I totally get where Hermes is coming from, where he's like jealous of the Wolfman,
Oh, love the Wolfman.
and then Leela right at the same time.
Does
she's
my
going
eye
to
look
get her.
monstery? Did you notice that she was applying Torgo's executive powder brand eyeliner?
Yeah, to her eyes. Well, she's going to get her slutty dress that she was going to wear for Easter. So that seemed, in character.
Bender knows how to use finesse. Just sawing off his hand.
We'll need weapons to shoot poor people. Like for self-defense, that too. I mean, 10 years ago, still pretty smart. But they did slip the nice dirty joke in there. You do a nice hand job, Zoidberg. I'd be scared to put Zoidberg anywhere near.
I just feel like it would be cold.
I think it would be chitinous and sharp.
Though that's not a word I've ever heard before.
Well,
Please
it's-
elaborate on that word.
Chitin is the stuff that like crustacean shells is made out of.
Oh, okay.
That's the substance that you peel off of a shrimp
Shrimp.
or a lobster
Mhm.
or
Never
a
had
crab.
sea bugs, so
No?
no. I don't eat
I-
seafood.
Why?
You can make armor out of it in Skyrim.
I do
really
know that.
out of
chitlin.
Yeah.
Is it what is it? Chitlin?
Chi-
or
it's spelled chitin, but it's chitin.
yeah.
it's like feces is spelled fecus, but you get the
And
picture.
and Tookus is spelled
B-U-T-T.
Tokhes. Because Zoidberg says, there I was in the dumpster enjoying
So-
a moldy fudgesicle when suddenly
No.
your hand flies over and slaps me
He
in the
says
Tookus.
fudgicle.
Fudgicle.
I literally wrote that in all
Yes.
caps with 17 exclamation
Fudgicle.
marks. Fudgicle.
Why no seafood? I'm just curious.
My mom grew up hating it.
Okay.
Then when I was a kid, it kind of just transferred over.
So you never rebelled to be like,
um,
look, Mom, fucking popcorn shrimp.
No, because I'm a super picky eater as it is.
Okay.
And then my mom really likes it now.
Oh.
But it's just become such a thing in my mind. Like it's built up so
Oh.
much that I just like, I've had
I'm-
salmon, like a salmon puff or something like that once.
I'm the
Yeah.
same way.
And so it tasted like stinky chicken. That's really like, I was kind of drunk, but like, it was like, oh, it just tastes like stinky chicken.
Nope. You should really try again.
I feel it's like a texture thing. Maybe now.
I don't know, man.
I'm the same. It's texture. It's kind of like the fishy tasting, and
I just don't like
If
the
it
smell
tastes
of it.
fishy, it's bad.
It's not good.
It's not good. Yeah.
I'd try salmon
If it
again.
smells fishy when you cook it, it's too old.
I think
Don't
that's-
eat it. It's bad.
Yeah. Like we make it all the
I do
time
like
at work.
crap.
popcorn.
Or
shrimp.
just
fish.
cook it extra long and then
We do have a bunch
suffer.
of shrimp at work. I was gonna take a bite of one, but I don't know.
Shrimp should never taste or smell or taste fishy. Really.
We drench it in like oil and garlic, so I mean, there's
So
nothing
like
I
a
just
ceviche.
Yeah.
don't love about that.
You know, crab and lobster's really it's your ticket.
And
That's where you go.
I'm not. I mean, no judgment because like I'm not like a freak about seafood. I'll enjoy it from time to time, but I also see people that get like, oh, all you can eat crab legs. I'm like, oh, all you can eat work trying to eat food. Like
it,
that
it
seems.
does seem like with lobster and stuff seems like a like just work.
yes.
Like I don't want to go to like I've been to Red Lobster and they'll we
Oh,
went
yeah,
there
it's a pain in
for
the
my
ass.
stepdad's
They just give you the
birthday.
little cracker thing. And they're like, bye.
Good
Well, I
luck.
just
And then it takes you 3 hours to eat like
Yeah.
3 ounces of
I just got
not
a
even
steak.
like a half ounce.
Yeah.
It was real gross.
And Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Their biscuits were okay.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't
Oh.
get.
I
I
like
don't
the
get Red
biscuits.
Lobster.
Ugh, they're so good.
It's a thing.
I'm an Olive Garden man.
Oh.
Always and forever. The Applebee's of pasta.
I have not had Olive Garden in
Oh, you feel terrible when you leave, but it's the
God,
best
maybe
kind of
like
terrible.
4 years, and it was only that recent because I was there like with people. We were like on the road.
But your family, what's not to love?
Well, I had hair in my food.
We're
and
doing a second shot episode on Olive Garden, but Devon, by the way. I am so excited to
good.
do this. It's going to be
Maybe-
the stinkiest episode.
Maybe we need to do one with seafood too.
Will you
I'll do a
have Olive
seafood
Garden
episode.
there? Because if so, I am in.
Like
I
we
will,
could,
we will all go
I'm
to
so
Olive
hungry
Garden
that I
and we will
let's record it right now. Let's go.
we'll do a fucking tour of Italy. Let's all get a fucking tour of Italy and just go to Olive Garden.
so the professor has a thing longer in this.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Which again, going back to the first anthology of interest,
You watched it. You
If-
can't unwatch it.
well, it's that was supposed to be a what if universe, and the professor actually created it's the universe that the thing longer exists in.
No, it's just a universe of the finger.
Oh,
It was a
don't
what if
exist.
he created it, and then he realized how great invention it is, and he created it.
Well, it's nice of him to bring the Harlem Globetrotters in because
Oh,
Ethan
yeah.
Bubblegum Tate has, you know, they are
They're
a
very smart.
very very smart crew of people, and they're not talking any, you know. Like they're very serious, but I like the fact that just like this paradox can't be solved. They're like doesn't look unsolvable to me, and it's and it's all done, and they can do the same tricks like Foxy
Oh yeah, they're very
chalk
much
tricks.
like still in like character of the Globetrotters.
Yeah.
like when they whistle or they sing the theme song for 1 second.
Professor goes, shiz, baby. So paradox-free time travel is possible after all.
I mean,
Shiz, baby.
And Bubblegum was like, "Funky Cole Medina."
yeah. But then they determined that Hermes is emitting substantial doom particles, which what on the doom meter. What was the other side? It was like inconsequential and or like mostly harmless and substantial or something like
Yeah.
this. What was the swing on the range?
I just wrote down that it was measured in milladooms.
It was minimal to substantial.
That's it. Okay. I liked where it went in the second chunk of the show. Like this episode part was good.
Yeah, this episode was the funniest in my opinion.
Yeah, this is definitely. I wrote this down, but I can't read my handwriting. Also, I didn't know most of the spelling on this. But when they send Bender back to kill Fry, which I know I'm jumping ahead, but it's like want me to congluterate him like some sort of dispatcherator. Also, we would like you to terminate him.
Yeah. Well, that was weird where they turned it into the Terminator.
Yeah.
But there's the whole little jag in Elzar's with the sign saying today's special, try our insolent waitress. But then there's just that shot of Lars balancing a wine glass on a fork
Yeah,
and
I
like
didn't
tipping it into
understand,
Leela's
like-
mouth.
I guess like him flirting.
Yeah, it
was
was
so
just like a
weird.
cute trick. Like, look, I mean,
I want to see Fry do that.
yeah. Well, he'd break it or spill it or something.
Yeah.
Like it's
Lars and okay, I guess we're kind of jumping a little bit ahead.
yeah.
I don't want to spoil too much, but like Lars and Fry are very different people. Like
And yet very, very similar.
sort of. I mean, like Lars kind of responds to seeing Leela for the first time in, however long since he got there, pretty casually. He's just like, "Oh, hello." He plays it very smooth, unlike Fry would ever do.
I think he was calculating it, knowing that he was a paradoxical figure.
Well, see, this
But he didn't know about the paradox.
This is what I've been thinking
Lars?
about this
Not
whole
until the
time.
end.
So he has lived more of his regular life than
Yes.
Fry ever did.
Mhm.
So Lars is like he actually is a more mature Fry. Like
Yeah.
when Fry gets, thrust into the future, he kind of like stops his development as a person,
lives
whereas
with
Lars
Bender, yeah.
Lars like has a life and finds meaning like in his own time
That's true.
instead of having to
he
be
has
like
his heart
thrust.
broken by Lilu.
Right. So, well, yeah, we'll get there.
Oh, that Lilo stuff.
We'll
man. Love
get
that
there.
Plus, he
I like things
he
that
picked
only
his
have
adult
one thing
name, which
instead
was
of two
Lars.
things.
You get
Yeah.
to pick when you become an adult. You get to pick a new name.
I don't
The
think
Lars
that's
thing
true.
is,
I don't know why he picked the name Lars.
well, his full name is Lars something, and I feel like it's an anagram for Philip J. Fry.
Well, no, because there's
No S in well, what's his middle name? Philip.
J.
J.
Fry.
J.
No, there's no S. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe just he picked Lars because Lars was a thing. Like if you go with the Terminator thing of like the Terminator already exists, so Kyle Reese has to go back in time and like the whole thing. Like
Wait, Kylo Reese?
Kyle Reese is the man who is the
Oh, okay.
father of John Carter, John Carter of Mars.
he's
Um,
Lars Fillmore.
Mars film.
So Fillmore, Philip.
yeah, I can kind of like there's a connection somewhere there. But
Yeah.
The scene with the Spice Weasel, where it's like, oh,
Don't
don't
get
get
too worked.
excited.
This thing's got heart-shaped nostrils.
Want to see it make
You
a
want to see
star?
a big star?
That got me
No.
wondering if there's like different Spice Weasel anatomy, like if you can get specific ones, or if they're all like that, or what. I mean, they all have
I feel like it'd be
It's a
good
A
to
little
have
fresh
a heart.
ground executive.
yeah.
I feel like it's good to have the heart-shaped thing every night, even if it's not Valentine's Day or a date.
I like the star shaped thing personally.
It's true.
It's a
I'm more of a
muskier
star-shaped
flavor.
man.
If I could get the Batman symbol on one, that would be great.
Yeah, right. I mean, like you could
I feel like
probably
it's animal cruelty. That's like the foie gras
Yeah.
of spices.
it's some weird old Spice Weasel doctor human centipeding their nostrils and buttholes into different shapes.
That's a real human centipede 3. Of all
Yeah.
of them. It's like the one no one likes.
Or any of them, right? Oh my God, it keeps jumping ahead. This is crazy. So, Leela and Lars go on a like bubble date, and they're making out in the sky.
Oh, the bubble thing. I forgot about the bubble.
They also go to the Cylon War Memorial.
All of the treasures that are getting amassed by the Sprungers. Like, did you see they had Van Halen's guitar?
I did not see that.
I like Bender says, "Here's your Gutenberg Bible Master plus the Colonel's secret recipe: chicken grease salt."
Yeah.
So the Gutenberg Bible, is that just a joke that Steve Gutenberg becomes a god?
No.
I don't understand that one.
The Gutenberg Bible was like the first mass-produced printing press document ever made.
Like
Oh,
the
okay.
the Gutenberg press.
I'm not
Yeah.
a smart person.
No, that's like
The man who invented the printing press. His
Was
name
named-
was
Oh,
Gutenberg.
okay.
he also
Okay.
starred in the.
I
Police
just, in my
Academy
mind, I was
movies.
like, Steve Gutenberg became a god.
Yeah, that's who they were talking about.
I mean,
It was like, okay, Simpsons made a joke about Steve Gutenberg once.
6
like,
of one, half dozen of the other. He's Steve Gutenberg's another guy. I feel like he got the John Ritter treatment. Seemed like a generally
He was very good on that episode of Party Down.
yeah.
He was very
Oh,
funny
big
on
time,
that.
yeah.
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 I can't think of anything else I liked Steve Gutenberg in.
How about Police Academy 1 through 4?
To be fair, I have not sat down to watch a Police Academy movie. I've seen them on TV,
That's
but
like right up your alley.
Yeah.
really?
I feel.
I do like Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah,
But
and
I
he
don't know if I'd
he
like him in
disavows
those.
all of that. I
Well,
mean,
of course.
and I understand why, but like he's charming in a really revolting way in those movies.
Yeah, I mean, like his whole aesthetic at that time is like I could see the appeal of it.
I mean, to be frank, Police Academy movies in the 2018 sort of perspective,
Yeah,
they're problematic at places.
that's fine. I mean,
Here
80s,
and there.
80s comedies in
Yeah.
general, I don't think I'd like.
I mean, there's it's an 80s kind of foxy sex romp
Yeah.
here and there.
I feel like I
there's,
wouldn't like Caddyshack either. I've never seen Caddyshack.
See, Caddyshack's fun too. Also problematic, but it's
Yeah.
you gotta
Just seems like dad movies to me.
Well, that's because your dad saw him when he was like
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all. It's. I mean, The Karate Kid is a dad movie too,
True. That's true.
but only because it's fucking 30 years old. at this
What else
point.
did you called something a dad movie or a dad show on your podcast last
It's a whole
week?
lot of
was
things, dad things.
And I was like, "What? No." I don't remember what it is
Was
though.
it?
But I
was
had
it
a-
Curb?
Well, it was that
She
episode
definitely
that it
wouldn't
was
have that
on.
reaction to Curb.
I texted him and I was like, "Yeah, no,
Well, you said
I hate
Curb
Curb
and
Your Enthusiasm.
Seinfeld.
I'm not a fan."
Seinfeld is 100%
Oh yeah,
a
maybe
dad
that was
show.
it. No,
it's
I
my stepdad show.
I don't think Seinfeld is a dad show at all.
I
was
mean, I
it.
think with things that you dismiss as being dad, whatever, the Venn diagram
just 'cause
of
your
that,
dad
the
watched
stuff
it.
that I like is
No, my dad
probably
definitely will watch that.
probably overlaps a lot.
Well, yeah, I associate kind of like lame humor with my stepdad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can see. Well, lots of people associate lame humor with me, so it all works out.
You're like if you had a lame sense of humor, but also like The Descendants.
Right, exactly. So the whole thing, Fry was surprisingly good at reading minuscule letters off of his ass while running.
Mm-hmm.
In reverse.
Backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And distorted.
Yeah. I mean, I would think.
I think it would be funnier if he like would have read it in reverse and then he got a spear that put him into the future.
If you read it in reverse, does it go one? I don't.
Yeah.
There's so many questions with this goddamn time travel shit. It's all bullshit.
They got time. They fucking filled an entire episode with fucking Santa Claus.
This is true, but when he shows up back in the cryo lab and runs up to the window with his pants down, Happy New Year, you naked weirdo. I think they do that. They replay that like 3 or 4 times in this, don't they?
I love you too, naked dude.
And that's where they turn Bender into the Terminator, which
Yes.
I
like it.
I don't like the fact that all of a sudden, for the first time ever, he needs to pee.
Yeah.
That was
And
like
he goes back in time 19 seconds to tell his self that's going to have to pee in 19 seconds
which
that he has to
doesn't.
pee.
So if that first one goes to empty his non-existent bladder, does the other one?
He's going to have to do the same thing.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't.
It's Terminator time travel.
Was it this time or the time before when he had the line when he was like, I don't tell you how to tell me what to do, so don't tell me how to do what you tell me to do.
Yeah.
I think it's when he's cutting off Farmer's
Yeah,
hand.
that was back then. Yeah, because that one was like Bender has finesse or whatever.
Yeah.
Then he shows up again. He's like, "I'm Bender from way at the end,"
Yeah.
and like
He's
the
dressed
whole.
in a tuxedo.
But with the tattoo, he's like, "I got a buttocks to tattoo." Like that whole part, and it gets grosser and grosser as the episode goes on. Like the fact that he's just like. He slaps it on Fry's butt.
It's the noise.
But it's Tom, you work in a tattoo parlor.
Just slap
Tattoos
it
don't
on.
work like that, right?
I mean, if you tear it off somebody's skin,
And you just slap it on and it sticks, you're good.
what I think is that he's in the cryogenic, so it just is gonna freeze and then just his
Absorb.
Body
absorb
Natural
yeah.
juices.
Because it's the same skin. Because he takes it off of Lars and puts it on Fry,
Yeah.
so it's the same.
So theoretically wouldn't reject, but you would I mean, if I understand it, how grafts work at all, you have to have like
His pants seem pretty tight.
but you'd have to rip off the skin to place the other skin on to have it heal back on. And then if
Maybe.
you froze everything, it wouldn't be juices to like.
I feel like his pants are so tight and Fry doesn't change his pants enough that he just like had his pants on for like 3 weeks and it just started to grow back over. like he may have had a small cut or a hemorrhoid and just like
I've always thought of a temporary tattoo thing.
That it was just but they ripped it off of the
I
skin.
know,
and then
but
they
it's
do
like-
laser it off.
But that's how they get. You know,
This-
right.
It's
You might
all it
have-
is clearing up the last paradox.
yeah,
Right.
it's a story thing. It's not really cartoon logic.
Yes.
I like the whole side jag about the multiple Philip J. Frys. And like when Bender starts going through the people encyclopedia in the phone
Yeah.
booth,
Oh,
but
the old fat guy,
and
the
like
homeless fat guy.
the hobo out front, he's like, "I'm Philip J. Fry. What's my present?" And the callback when he comes up later and rings the doorbell and it's him, he just turns around and drops his pants.
It's even funnier. He's like, "Okay, go back to what you were doing." He's like, "Okay, see you later," and he falls back into the gutter.
It just goes to sleep.
I've always been this ugly.
Yeah. But then barging into Michelle's place, and that was kind of dirty too. Like Constantine was going to town.
He looks at his ass. He's like, "Oh, I understand why you left Fry."
It's good old Sarah Silverman as Michelle.
It is. It was a nice little cameo. And then,
What was your name? Constantine? Oh.
What a dumb name.
Dumb name.
but then they bring in Al Gore,
Yes.
and lots of Al Gore in this one too.
Yeah. I like Al Gore in the show.
Yeah,
He's very funny on the show. He's got a very good sense of humor about himself.
he does. It just like Bender
His
being responsible.
daughter was a writer on the show for a while.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That was the connection.
Because they did a video or a little animated thing for An Inconvenient Truth, I think, as well.
Did they?
Yeah, there's definitely a future.
Yeah, there's a
they
gag.
play the
I don't know if it's a.
the greenhouse gas thing from.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
With the
Well, he
robot
says,
Ellen.
Yeah.
Dang, that $100 could
None
have
like
bought
it
me
hot.
1 gallon of
gas.
gas.
Well, okay, so that's even jumping ahead a little bit because so Bender shows up, he zaps the other Philip J. Fry who's with Al Gore, and then zaps the big bucket of Gore votes in Florida, which that's that. But then with the headline and it being the obnoxious robot is still on the loose,
Yeah.
and nobody cares.
Well, then he tries to kill himself in the suicide booth. He's like, "Oh, what kind of horrible suicide-free time is this?"
Which, to make a call was 50 cents. So in the future, it only costs $0.25 to kill yourself, which is cheaper than making a phone call.
Because texts were 25 cents 15 years ago. I mean, when he goes to Yancey's house.
Yeah.
12 years passed. Then.
this.
I mean, like, the fact that he shows up at the door and he's like, "Are you Philip J. Fry?" And he's like, "Phil, some trash can is here to see you." And then he just has his kid come up.
Are you made of Tinker Toy?
Another great voice actor.
It's Lauren Tom.
Huh?
Lauren Tom.
Tom Kenny.
No, that's Lauren
Oh,
Tom.
Yancey?
Tom Kenny was Yancey.
Oh, Yancey.
Yeah,
Okay.
as
Yeah,
Yancey.
yeah, yeah.
Who, just tying it back to Police Academy, Tom Kenny and Bobcat Goldthwait were
Bobcat
like,
gave, or Tom Kenny gave. Well, Bobcat gave himself the name Bobcat from Tom Kenny.
they both gave them names. It was Tomcat and Bobcat,
Yeah,
and they were
'cause-
both naming themselves after Barry Crimmins, who was
Oh,
he called
okay.
himself the Bearcat of comedy.
The story that Bobcat always says is he was just making the name as a joke
Yeah, it was
to make
it-
fun of Tomcat.
It was after Barry. Rest in peace. Barry Crimmins just passed away. That guy was fucking amazing.
Oh, I think we skipped this part. Is when Bender goes and gets the head mask
From Egypt?
From Egypt, and he says, he says scarab, forearm, bird, 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 which is also the same thing that the Pharaoh Skinner says in the Simpsons Bible stories.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I
either.
thought he was just saying like actual Egyptian.
No, yeah, it was scarab, forearm, bird.
I didn't know he
bird.
was saying like just random.
So I guess the point is after Gore loses the election, he becomes a taxi driver in New York.
It's so funny.
But he's in
2012.
Is the Hybraxi taxi? Is that just funny rhyme?
I think
It's
it's
like a hybrid and taxi
But that's
together.
okay. But that's what's so fucked up is if you go to New York now, every fucking taxi is a Prius or a hybrid. Like by law, I think.
It just makes sense logically too.
Yeah, oh for sure. But like
And
it's
gas
actually
costs
come true.
$100 a gallon.
He's not far off.
We also skipped. What's happening? Are you urinating?
Did we?
Yeah, that's when Bender confronts Fry.
Oh,
before he's
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
kill him.
yeah.
He's like, I also have to urinate.
We skipped a little bit there.
It's just it's severely warped doc. It's just
Yeah.
like
Just straight up.
I have recurring nightmares of going like in a car up two steep inclines
Oh, really?
where like that, it's just like I gotta get to the top, and then the car just
Oh, shit.
falls over
Yeah,
backwards.
I
Like
can see that.
Like Fry's pants start to fall down, and Bender says, where is it? I just had it. It's me. that must be him because it's me. I'd recognize me anywhere or something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because there's a whole thing of Bender setting himself to explode,
Yeah,
and then he kicks him into the freezer.
well, right. So
Sets him for 1,000,000 years.
right, but can a robot actually be cryogenically frozen? Like that didn't make any sense to me.
I mean, I think it depends on the temperature of the freezing. Like, I mean, you could freeze metal
Well, yeah.
to slow it down to. I mean, like time wise, he's not going to age. So
That's
it
how
doesn't
they
matter.
they got rid of the T1000 or T2 as you call it.
No, they don't get rid of him that way. They slow him down.
Oh, yeah,
they
that's
shoot him,
right.
and then
Oh,
he melts
yeah.
back because he's in the metal
Yeah.
factory.
I thought it
If
was
they
a
weren't there, he would have.
I thought it was a T2000,
It's true.
but then
Sick,
then
dude.
I wondered if it was like T1 and T2 or like bathroom codes.
I'm going all the way back to the beginning of this episode, but you know what's funny?
The Zoidberg.
Your
Canastas?
wiener.
I did legitimately scream laugh at that.
Yeah.
It's a so this we're coming to the end of part 2, and this is really like so. This is Bender kills Fry. He blows up Panucci's pizza, but this is the point where Fry walks home from the dock from his Arctic adventure, and Seymour like doesn't follow him inside. Nothing. He's just like, "Hey, what's
Yeah.
up?" And that's that. And that's the part that just like the whole thing. It negates all of Jurassic Park. It really bothered me because of the
I think that's part of why I don't like Jurassic Park too.
because it's all bullshit because of the future.
I think it's just I honestly don't find the end. I don't know. I'm not going to talk.
Do you
about
think it was
more.
like a symbolic thing where it's like, just like Fry went this separate way? It's like what his life's like if he didn't have Leela.
It's kind of a what if or
all of his,
it's like an alternate reality kind of thing.
And maybe
But-
Seymour would just get sick of him if he was actually around.
I don't see why Seymour couldn't have just hung out with him in the apartment.
Yeah, I don't.
Other than
either.
the fact that the image of Seymour sitting there is kind of iconic.
oh, it's-
Like there's no real logic to it, and it's just kind of bad. Like
yes,
the I think it's even more than the Santa thing. It's my least favorite part of the whole episode or story or whatever you want to call this movie.
film. It's a film.
It's a film. Stanley Kubrick
It,
directed
it
this, right?
technically cannot be a film because it was not filmed.
Unless
Unless you're
tell that
considering
to Pixar.
celluloid. Well, that's
Racist.
different. No, that's different. I'm saying specifically, this is not a film.
It's a film, just like Coco is a film. You're racist.
No,
Wait,
I'm not
Coco.
racist. Coco
The newest Pixar film about a little Mexican boy.
won.
Oh, I don't.
I think
Animation
Shrek is the best
Oscar.
animated film.
I heard it was really good.
What?
I heard it was.
That's
great.
why you call it a film.
It was a SNL
Yeah.
skit from this past. Have you seen that?
I haven't watched it yet.
Somebody wants to.
Oh dear. All right.
Anyway,
So, end of part 2. And
I
then,
guess.
Then
Well, how did this episode end? I'm trying to think of like how it
Bender
was-
Bender
blew
blew
him up.
everything up and
Yeah.
killed Seymour.
Oh, then he starts crying and
Yeah.
That's how Seymour got fossilized. Was
Yeah.
Flesh fossilized.
Yeah.
yeah.
So when Bender gets back to the future after killing Fry, the Sprungers set him free. They release him from his virus and all of that, and now he's off on his own to do whatever. Also.